How's it going?
I have a bone to pick. I'm coming in hot to this episode.
Oh. What don't you come in hot to?
Okay. I come in hot to a lot of things. So here's my gripe. On the internet, nuance is dead. That's my beef. So we do our last shrink wrap, and we're talking about Jonah Hill and his reaction to his ex-girlfriend of like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. You and I share an opinion about it. And then, I expected that I would share an opinion and that there would be some people that disagreed with my opinion. Totally appropriate, totally fine. People, of course, go into the comments and they immediately assume, not only do they assume, that I'm wrong and like a misogynist and all those kinds of things, but they see a lot of red flags with me. Okay? The number of comments I read where there's like, oh, do you see the way that because like, I guess I do this a lot. And everybody looks at it and goes, oh, look at her body language. He's an abuser. So I go, you know what? They don't know you. Like if they don't know me, how can they be that upset with me? I can't worry about it.
You pointed at your finger that you're an abuser? Or what?
Your body language is one of the abused. And I am aggressive and dominant, and I take up too much space on the podcast, and so there's some red flags there.
Okay. What is it about me that gives off abuse victim?
Your body language
what
and your facial expressions.
Oh, okay.
I do think that there is a vibe on your things of like, so I think that I could, I would assign, if I was going to look at the body language, it's more boredom of me bloviating about something. Like, I think that probably is what they're picking up. But anyway, I'm fine. They go onto my page. If you have that opinion, you post it, and I will leave it on. Okay. And I've learned over the years, like, don't go to war. But then another YouTuber, who I'm not going to name, I'm not going to name her for a couple of reasons. Okay, let me talk through what I'm thinking here.
What is her name? I can't remember.
I don't know. I'm not going to name it.
But
because I have a theory. Here's my thought.
Okay.
It is very hard to get viewers. It's very hard to make content. And for the little guy like us, it's like a difficult road to hoe. And when we face scrutiny, it can be hard. And so I don't want to put people on blast for trying to figure out this space. If it's Will Smith and he's slapping Chris Rock, I have no problem laying into him, but I don't want to start attacking other creators. Mm-hmm. But this creator pissed me off, okay? So this woman goes and she creates it's like a 25-minute video, and it's like something like psychologist is very problematic, or problematic is, or psychologist is, I can't remember, but you saw it. What was it?
How do you think all the reality TV people feel about you commenting on them?
I understand. I know. That's what I'm saying. But I go, okay, I justify it. I'm not saying that I'm right, but I'm justified by being like, okay, they're on reality TV. There's a network behind them. But I know, okay, maybe I'm getting a little bit of my own medicine. But she puts this video out that says, like, psychologist is an a-hole, essentially. And look how wrong he is. And all these, she does a 26-minute video, and we are like 3/4 of it. And I look at it, and somebody sends it to me on Instagram and goes, hey, you should look at this. Someone's putting you on blast. It's like, oh, I'll check it out. Oh, I got a fan. Someone's watching. So I look at it, and it's just to me, a very clear distortion of reality, the way that she takes what we've said and then pontificates in an odd way about how we're so off base. But fine, she has her views and perspectives. Then you look at the comments, and you're like, holy shit. A lot of people think that we're horrific for our take on this Jonah Hill issue.
Was it we're or your?
What?
Like, was it we're horrific or
yeah,
your?
Well, they don't know us well enough. So what happened is it said, the title was something like, psychologist is, has a dangerous view. I can't remember what exactly the title was. But it's a picture of me and you. And the assumption is that we're both therapists.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I'm a psychologist, but I haven't worked as a therapist in 12 years. But no one knows that, but they assume we're both therapists and we're a real problem for our views. And then they didn't like most of what I said. They really didn't like it when I said that I thought you were hot when we first started dating, and they really didn't like it when I said that you dress differently now, and that I would be worried if you dressed the way that you did when you were 19 when we first got together. Whatever. Everybody attacks, okay? By the way, I stand by everything I said.
I have so many thoughts right now.
Oh, what?
About all of it.
What? We'll say them.
Well, I mean, I didn't dress differently than I do now.
This is the fight we got in last, or not a fight, but this was the discussion. Yes,
but
you did.
I don't know. I wore sweatpants then. I wear sweatpants now.
So last time I said something like, I made the horrible mistake of making a joke, and I said, you let the girls out a lot more then than you do now. And, by the way, and you did. I don't take that back.
Remember when I had a customer that said that to me? And like,
What?
I could never even like talk to that customer again. He told me that I had my girls out a lot. And I was like,
Is it recently?
no, it was probably 10 years ago. But I immediately went and bought a sweater to cover up. And I like didn't even think I was like, I thought I looked really professional.
Okay, I think
Now I can't, now I like, just so you know, I do feel like that was really mean that he did that.
I think I think it's very inappropriate that he did. As your husband, I'm just telling you, your wardrobe has changed as you've matured. We started dating when we were 19. Now we're in our 40s. Things have changed.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, I found you very attractive then. I find you very attractive now. But if you started dressing like you did then, I would be like, well, this is interesting. Okay. I would say something. Anyway, everybody like that thought.
You'd be like, this is interesting, or you'd be like, what are you wearing?
I would say this. Yeah, I would say, what's going on here?
I actually don't think you ever would do that. I think you'd do that, but I don't think you ever do that.
I don't know. But let me just get to my story, okay? So anyway, I look at it like, okay, if I think about my Pop Psych channel, the purpose behind the channel is I am trying to entertain, but also educate about psychology. That's the goal. The goal is, if we're talking about abuse, my frame of reference is, how do I communicate what is abuse and what isn't abuse? And so I try to be really honest about how someone would objectively view this issue, like every specific interaction. Okay, so if we're watching Sister Wives and there's a conflict between Janelle and Cody, I am looking at that specific interaction and saying that's abusive or that's not abusive, and here's how you'd look at it. I'm not talking about who am I a fan of or who do I like and, oh, am I so happy that she's getting back at him? Like I'm talking, like that's the lens, which can frustrate some people, but there's a purpose behind that, is to educate around abuse or whatever it might be. This other channel, the purpose is to protect, I think, it's to protect survivors of abuse. It's to help people find healthier boundaries. And so I think it makes sense that her perspective would be what it is as it relates to this Jonah Hill thing. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to be mad that she made a 26-minute video about how horrible we are. Fine. I reached out to her.
You keep saying we.
You're part of it. You're stuck with me. So what I said. So I wrote her and I said, so in the comments I said, hey, I'm the psychologist that made this video. I actually am a fan of yours. I like what you do, and I would love to. Why don't we collaborate? I'm happy to join your channel, or you can join mine. But let's do a video where we talk through how we each see this conflict with Jonah Hill and his ex-girlfriend differently. That way, we can both openly express it. Like there's no enemy here. We both care about our audiences, and we can talk it through. I post it, and I think, well, people will like that. She'll see it because people will like it. And I come back on like the next day, and it only has one like. And it's the like that I gave it. Like I posted it and I said like. And then no one else liked it. And I go like, not a single person liked it? I go back the next day and I come back and I can't even find it in there. And I have to search my name before I find it at the bottom. And I go like, I wonder if it's being like shadow banned because I gave her my email. And maybe the YouTube thought that I was soliciting something. Oh. So I go, oh, well, YouTube probably is doing something funky with it. So I write another post to her and I say, hey, I don't leave my email. I said the same thing. Hey, fan of yours, like what you're doing. Would love to have a discussion about this. And I hit my like button. Okay. Come back like a day or two later. No one else has liked it. And I go, you got to be kidding me. And I go, is she blocking me? But she's not blocking me because I can see the post here. So I go on and do a little research. Like, how do you know if you've been blocked by somebody? And it turns out that if the YouTuber blocks your comment, the commenter, because they're traditionally crazy, isn't notified that their comment's been removed. So the comment stays there if you're logged into your profile. So that you'll never know. So I logged out.
I do have a thought. Does that mean you're the crazy one?
Yeah.
This whole story is getting very crazy for me.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm the crazy one. Have I burned too many calories on this?
Yeah, and like you keep telling me how busy you are.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish. So anyway, I sign out of my account and then log back into that video, and sure enough, my video or my post is gone. My point is, she blocked it. She, instead of talking to me about it, she critiqued me and you. She critiqued mostly me. She critiqued us, and then when I reached out to try to have like a civil conversation about it, she just blocked me.
David, she doesn't want to talk to an abuser. I actually watched that video, just so you know.
I know you did.
And I thought she took a lot of things out of context, and she doesn't seem like much fun, to be honest.
I think that's a fair critique. Can I just say one more thing, and I'll stop complaining. I had two thoughts. The first thought is, oh, she wants to go on here and talk shit, but she can't defend herself, and so she's going to block me. She doesn't want anybody to know that she's not willing to back up her position. That was my first thought, which made me mad. And then my second thought was what you said, which is, what if she really thinks I'm an abusive person, and she's like, it's best to set a boundary. I'm not going to let this abuser,
She set one.
She set a boundary. So I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to mention her here. Anyway, that's the latest strife in my life.
Yeah. I'm sorry that happened to you.
It happened to us. You keep on trying to distance yourself from me. You were on that podcast, and we agreed.
Yeah.
You think you got closer to your mic?
Yeah. I mean, I still disagree with like even the comments. I don't think what our perspective was wrong. Like I think I think Jonah Hill is cray. Like he knew what he was getting into, but also like I think what I said was like it's going to be hard for people to be in relationships because other people will put you on blast after you break up and find a new person.
Yeah.
And so I don't think my opinion's changed by what she was saying. Did your opinion change at all from her perspective?
It changed zero. No, I don't. By the way, I stand 100% by what we said. 100%. And that's what bothers me is that people can't like reasonably, but I don't hate someone who disagrees with me. You know what I mean? It's such an aggressive response.
But I do feel like you are better than most at sitting like in the uncomfortable to have a discussion. Whereas I think we're in a world where like if you don't agree, then you're like deleted. Like basically what she did. Like if you can't go if you don't like run her. We don't I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like if you don't go with what she has to say, then she's out. She's not interested in another opinion.
Right.
And I feel like
her goal is. It feels like her goal is not truth or exploration. Her goal is to shove her opinion.
Truth.
It's her truth is going to be shoved down.
And I do think that's like you are an academic through and through. Like you got a PhD and you study different perspective and different points of view, and so you're able to ponder lots of different points of views. Whereas I feel like people that don't go through, like me, I am really not good at like I get emotional in an argument. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you're unemotional in an argument.
I'm so flattered that you called me an academic.
You are an academic.
I'm not an academic, but I love that you think I am.
I mean, you're not in academia now, but you definitely are an academic.
Yeah, I've done my time there. Yeah.
You wrote a PhD. I was around for that.
A dissertation.
Your dissertation.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay.
And all the other research things that you have to do for work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you are an academic.
That's very sweet.
She is not. And so, like, is unable to see other perspectives, which is unfortunate because I feel like it's like my mom and politics. Like, if you don't see her perspective, then you're just stupid. And I feel like that's how the world is now, which I hate.
Yeah. But so we have a couple things on the horizon to talk. A couple things I think we need to be thinking about talking about. Did you ever watch John and Kate plus 8? Because there is big drama on this front.
I think I didn't get into it as much as the other TLC stuff, but I think I've seen a few of them.
I never watched it, but my entire feed is like just chock full of the drama right now between. There's one of the kids. They had 8. Correct me if I have this wrong. They have 8 kids, one group of sextuplets,
Yes.
which is crazy to me, and then a set of twins.
Right.
One and through the divorce, I'm guessing because of John's bad behavior, Kate got all the custody. Okay. And then
what was his bad behavior?
I don't know. I think I do remember him being a little bit of a philanderer. Yeah, he might have.
But philandering doesn't mean that you don't get the kids, right? Or does it?
I don't know. I mean, I know that he had to like sue for partial custody, but one of the kids, at one point, I think the kid's name is Colin, was sent off to a psychiatric institute or something, some kind of behavioral modification camp that he had to go to, and was sort of ousted from the family. And so now that kid and then one of the girls has moved in with John, and they're putting Kate on blast, and Kate's being scrutinized. And there's this new Vice documentary about this conflict. And so on that Vice documentary, Colin came forward and said, "Look how horrible my mom was." And now Kate's going on to People magazine and saying, actually, he has psychiatric issues. So we have to watch the Vice documentary.
How do we watch it?
It's on Vice.
Do we have that?
We can find it. I'm sure we can find it. But we have to watch it. It's like it's a docu-series.
Okay.
About it.
All right. Well, I'm in.
Yeah, I feel like it's very much up your alley.
Yes.
So that's an interesting thing to talk about. Anything else on your end? Otherwise, this is a full podcast of just me complaining about some YouTuber.
Well, I mean, it did take some space. But I'm glad. I hope you feel better from it. Yeah.
Cathartic. Thank you.
I would like to talk about the Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey just was found not guilty for his sexual misconduct. And
totally not guilty?
Of the 4, I think there were 4 accusers. And he was found not guilty.
On all 4 counts.
Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting because I feel bad for the victims, and I also feel bad for him. Who knows what the real truth is? And he's definitely has no career anymore. Yeah. But then on the other side, the victims, if they're true victims, they do not feel vindicated at all. They feel like they did not get justice.
I can't believe he got off on all 4 counts. Mm-hmm. I thought they were serious counts. Wow.
Well, anyway, so that's my feeling of it. What is your feeling?
I just don't know. I haven't. I'm unprepared for the conversation. Okay. I think it's horrific if he didn't do it, because his livelihood, his career was blown up as a consequence of it. Yeah. I have a hard time. It's hard for me to wrap my head around the idea that he could have such egregious, so many claims of rape, and then for all 4 counts to be thrown out.
They weren't thrown out. It's just not guilty.
Or not guilty. Yeah. Not guilty on all 4 counts is a lot. Yeah. So.
Interesting.
All right. Want to go to bed?
Yes. Good night.
All right. Love you. Good night.